With summertime on the horizon, the AVP League gets underway. Legends, champions, and hungry rookies begin their quest to raise the championship belts. From Florida to Texas, New York to LA, San Diego to summertime shy, beach volleyball's best will compete all summer long here on CBS Sports Network. Are you ready for First Serve? If you're not in a summertime state of mind yet, allow us to help. Welcome to the 2025 championship for the AVP League. Delray Beach Tennis Center in Palm Beach, Florida. This is event number 1 where the Palm Beach Passion will face off with the Brooklyn Blaze. We have 2 matches planned for you tonight. We'll start with the women's side and then move on to the men's. Welcome inside, everybody. Kevin Barnett alongside Cameron Irwin once again as we start a new season. Cameron, very interesting matchup here. We have the Olympians in Humana Paredes and Wilkerson facing a new young upstart duo in Donlin and Denenberg. Here we go.
They are, or excuse me, Donlin is going to be so fun to watch alongside Denenberg, and it's been so fun. This is an athletic team. They're a split blocking team, which means they're both going to share the roles as blocker and defender. They're going to bounce back and forth, so that's something to watch out for. But what about a welcome to the league moment for Lexi Denenberg, who, by the way, is phenomenal to watch as an attacker. But how about you step on the sand as the first rookie and you face off against the silver medalist from Paris?
Yeah, so you have the medalists and the aspiring Olympians. Lexi Denenberg at 23 years old, Julia Donlin also 23 years old. Their eyes are on 2028. Our second match will be laden with veterans.
Absolutely.
Trevor Crabb and Phil Dalhauser against Sean Cook and Brian Miller, then a rookie team.
Another rookie team. We've got 10 rookies to hit 2025 league play of the 32 possible. So there's a lot of turnover from last season to this season.
Look at our format for 2025, an individual championship chase along with a league title to be had as well. The AVP will be an individual chase all the way to Chicago. It's going to be on your best record. We have 8 teams. We're going to take 6 to Chicago for that individual title. We'll have 4 teams per week across this 8-week season. We also have the AVP League Cup. That will be based on the city overall group. That'll be men and women grouped together. Think of it like a Formula One constructors title.
Absolutely, because one championship wasn't enough, right? You have to have a city franchise championship as well as a pairings championship. Just so much more to play for this season.
Yeah, one team that wanted those kind of changes, wanted to control their own destiny, is definitely the Olympians, Melissa Humana Paredes and Brandy Wilkerson, who were exceptional last season.
I mean, exceptional is probably an understatement, making it all the way to that gold medal match. A huge reason why that southpaw. Brandy Wilkerson, one of the most vertical athletes you will see. She stands at 5'11", but man, does she get up as a blocker. One of the best blockers, if not the best blocker on the women's side in the world. For the Brooklyn Blaze, it is the youngsters and East Coast representatives out of Merritt Island, Florida, Lexi Denenberg, and out of Mooresville, North Carolina, Julia Donlin. I mean, I just call them team athlete. Like, you look at these two and what they've done in terms of the work off the court, well, they also put that much work in on the court. They have a very similar personality, lots of fire, lots of passion, and great dedication to this sport. Well, they have the perfect logo in the Brooklyn Blaze, and we'll see if they can light a fire under the sand tonight in match number 1. Mark Sherman will bring the players out, and we'll get started.
Oh my gosh, yes. Yes, we're having a good time here at Delray Beach. Let's meet the players. First, for the women of the Brooklyn Blaze, standing at 6 feet tall out of USC. Ladies and gentlemen, let me hear it for Julia Donlin. And her brand new partner, standing at 6 feet tall out of UCLA and originally out of just up the road in Merritt Island, Florida. It's Lexi Denenberg. and their opponents, your Palm Beach Passion. Standing at 5 feet 9 inches, defender out of York University. She is the smiling assassin. It's Melissa Humana Paredes. And her partner, her fellow Olympic silver medalist, the 5'11" blocker out of York University, Brandy Wilkerson.
Originally out of Switzerland, but representing Canada. Both two-time Olympians, only once next to one another. A partnership that began in 2023. Still young by partnership standards, just a couple of seasons in. Humana Paredes and Wilkerson.
And that's bad news for the rest of the world. And they feel a new energy being exerted in this 2025 season, a chance to experiment with their partnership and some of the strategies that they'll employ.
Yeah, they said, what can we do with 4 years together?
That's a scary thought.
So Denneberg and Donlin on the other side. Denneberg, the rookie here. Julia Scholes played alongside Betsy Flint the last couple of seasons, including last year's league for the LA Launch. And we are underway. Quick, tight pass, and Humana Paredes cannot run that one down.
Little crosstown rivalry as well between Donlin and Denneberg. One out of USC and one out of UCLA. Two incredible programs that really have developed athletes just like Donlin and Denneberg. Great attackers, great ball control, and wild service pressure.
Right away, there it is. And it results in an ace. Nostradamus with the call.
Nostradamus somewhere out there too.
He is out there, no doubt.
But I love that. Add the emphasis from the service line. This is a jump topspin serve. So rolling off the fingers and then putting the topspin, trying to keep that in the court.
The old Jake Gibb method is good there. Ace to ace. One on the angle, one down the line for Julia Donlin. So Donlin's going to wear the number 1. Denneberg is going to wear the number 2. And you can differentiate them by Denneberg in the white glasses. Currently at the net. Remember, they're going to split block, and we'll see how they play with that, I think, through the year.
Little double check of the call. Check of the ball mark.
As it stands right now, side out and a pair of aces for the Brooklyn Blaze. No fear against the veterans.
You almost get to play free.
This one down the middle. Boy, all 3 service areas hit. And a block to go with it. All the skills on display from the young Americans.
If you're new to beach volleyball, this is what you want to watch out for. This pairing, you're going to see Lexi Denneberg up at the net, the press. So when she is the non-server for this duel, she will be the blocker. Same in regards for Julia Donlin, but in the reverse at this moment. Server becomes defender.
4-0. Another tough serve. Off balance again. That one hit flat down the middle, 5-0. So we saw an 8-0 open to our last set of our last match, and here we are at 5-0 in the next one. 8-0 was a record, and 5-0 is a way to start your AVP League career partnership.
I got it.
Timeout called. 5-0. Now each team has 1 timeout, an opportunity to slow down the action. They will switch sides once. As we look at the 2025 rookies, and it is a big story this year. We have 10 of them across the 2 genders.
Get a chance to see some of the other names alongside Molly Shaw and James Shaw will both be playing for the Miami Mayhem. Fun fact, they're married. Pretty obvious when you take a look at that. Hagen Smith and Logan Weber, a team that was able to qualify in together through the qualifying process, which, by the way, was a daunting task. We'll get into that. As also Lexi Denneberg and Julia Scholes had talked about at length how tough it was to qualify into this year's league. This is a team that went to multiple qualifiers to make that happen, and one in which that they got it done. Julia Donlin had to deal with some pretty major health issues in the midst. Big time cramping, but they just gutted it out. A lot of grit on their side.
A missed serve finally gets Palm Beach off of the goose egg. As the left-handed and extremely dynamic Brandy Wilkerson goes back to serve. Two-time best blocker on the AVP, garnering the same honor internationally as well. She'll get to the net. And she's known for big moves. That one into the angle, but the shot goes to the line.
I mean, her hitting window is just so big. That set actually just a slight variance, a little bit behind her head, and she's able to be so physical and still pull that ball to the line.
First away, that ball put back to the net, and here's a dig. Humana Paredes expertly placed, pulling dig, and a middle kill. Another pulling dig, feature of the night.
Absolutely, especially on the women's side, starting to see some of these big-time blockers get more offensive instead of defensive. That's what happens when the block pulls off the net, finds the dig, gets the transition.
They'll keep Denneberg at the line. Two-time state champion here in Florida in soccer to go along with volleyball. Pretty common combination. Offsetting seasons. Looking for the deep corner on Humana Paredes. Instead, it is on to option for her partner.
That's the bread and butter of this pairing. Trying to find the option play, which means going on to, it has to start with a perfect pass, and that is all Melissa Humana Paredes, really lifting that ball, even though served tough into the corner.
Humana Paredes, almost 8.5 digs, and she is so efficient in transition. Can be absolutely lethal when it comes to running points. Will she get one here? Yes, she does. It'll have to turn. Beautiful hand set delivery and a kill. The Blaze score another. 8-2. What an open.
Team athlete, team physical. I mean, the only thing that would make that swing better is if that sunset was on Zoom display. What a beautiful backdrop for the Brooklyn Blaze right now.
Yeah, the sky of fire as well as the game for these young women who could be the future of USA Volleyball. They could be the now for the AVP League. We'll be back on CBS Sports Network with more from Florida. AVP League is brought to you by Wilson, the official ball of the AVP. By Sun Cruiser Vodka Iced Tea, let the good times cruise. And by StubHub, the official ticketing partner of the AVP. Whether it's a Friday or a Saturday night, grab a beverage of your choice and plan to join us out at the AVP League. Sun Cruiser booth will be with us throughout the season. You can come by and enjoy the festivities, and then top shelf volleyball as we welcome you back inside the Delray Beach Tennis Center here in Palm Beach, Florida. The Olympic silver medalists on their back foot to start. An 8-3 advantage built already by the young Americans, who are getting nothing but more aggressive, and that ball is a little long.
I think Sun Cruiser was just missing one line. Real iced tea, real vodka, and a real good time. That's what takes place right here on the AVP League.
Now, if there's a team that can steadily work their way back, that would be the Canadian pairing of Jimena Paredes and Wilkerson. Actually, in that run last season in Paris, suffered a couple of early losses, had to come all the way back, defeat America's top team to put themselves onto the medal stand. They are off balance in their service reception, but on balance in their offense. They're just back into the sand recently.
They are, and right now it's showing just a little bit. The tough service pressure has been hard for Palm Beach to have to manage. A lot of it is short into the sideline. This is the pickup, though, from Melissa Jimena Paredes. Lovely as she attacks out of the middle, finds the short poke. They took an extended break after the Olympics.
Left on Friday, RBC sponsored Melissa Jimena Paredes back to serve. And she'll register the ace there.
It's a great way to get yourself back into the match. I like that she is attacking from the middle of the service line. Reason being, it creates a little bit of miscommunication from partner to partner. It's hard to know who has that responsibility. Oftentimes, you go with the cross court side out player who covers that middle location.
High set, right side, and that'll be chipped off the block. Lexi Denneberg, NCAA Championships All-Tournament team in 2023 for her. A lot of honors throughout college, three-time All-American there at UCLA. Big jump serve. Again, Mel and Brandy struggling just a bit. And that one will be put right down the middle between the pulling blocker and the stationary defender.
A lot of challenges when you're facing an unknown. For Mel and Brandy, this is a team they really have not had a chance to face off against. You don't know the scouting report. And especially with the split blocking nature, you've got a different blocker defender in front of you every single time.
A little wrist away action, that easily done by Brandy Wilkerson.
Both Mel and Brandy having some success right now attacking out of the middle of the court. This time, some pace added by Brandy.
Wilkerson, an Olympian alongside Heather Bansley in 2021, a 5th place finish for her. As we'll get a replay here. And Wilkerson doesn't like that, felt like she hit her best serve.
An early whistle.
Another big approach, this time down in front of the defender. Denneberg, another kill. Alongside Deanna Kraft was Denneberg last year. Best finish was 7th place in Huntington Beach. First experience on tour goes back a few years, back to that 2021 mark. Back set, Mel. Oh, that's sharp.
Kevin, what have you not seen as often from Palm Beach in this first set?
On two.
The on-two. Reason being, they have been serving so aggressively to Mel's sideline. They've really limited that. Here was the first look and the threat of it, which means the block's a little bit late. Everyone concerned about Brandy Wilkerson attacking.
Brandy mentioned to us that they have worked on being even more aggressive in that on-two opportunity.
Denneberg continues to be the target.
Wilkerson picked that one up. Can she finish? Yes, easily done. What doesn't she like on that play?
I think there were a couple close contacts there on the side of the Brooklyn Blaze. Maybe asking for a lift or two. Palm Beach Passion starting to build some momentum here. Brooklyn Blaze needs to be careful on their side out.
Palm Beach Passion, the women went 5-3 last year, an exceptional record, and the big block was part of that. They are right back into this set. Do they have time? You have to believe with that kind of block they do.
Fire yourself up and fire your hometown crowd up. Brandy Wilkerson drops the hands to the sand and finds the third floor.
A 7-4 run to get back in this one and cause a timeout for Brooklyn. 12-10 here in set number 1. Best of 3, play to 15, win by 2 to determine the result in the first matchup for each of these clubs in this season, the AVP League Championship chase. Let's check in with the third member of our crew, Olympian Casey Patterson, who's down in the sand in the stadium and enjoying himself.
Yeah, I'm having too much fun just talking with the boys, all my buddies down here. We got Trevor Crabb here. He's with a new partner, a guy that we've heard of a few times. This is a special year for him, retiring. What's the pressure like for you?
I think it was a little more than I expected, you know. Once he announced the retirement, now everyone expects him to go out winning, right? But I love the pressure, so I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. I mean, you're a guy that just loves hecklers. You love the pressure. You love to call big wins. I mean, I would love if you called a league win here to solidify for Phil when he's retiring.
Oh, yeah, I'll do it right now. Calling the league win tonight. Tonight. Okay, perfect. Match is a little tougher. Right. We'll think about that, but tonight, yeah.
Okay, well, you heard it here first. We couldn't get Phil. He's warming up the glutes, but back to the ladies. The Palm Beach is making a comeback.
Trevor Crabb, he of the guarantee, right? Always calling the Manhattan Beach Open for himself, and that has been a successful strategy. 4-time champ. Back to this women's match. Brooklyn with the early lead, and it was a big one. 8-3. That was the side switch. And since that point, it's been a lot of Palm Beach, but they may be running out of time here against an aggressive and confident young American side.
I think the Palm Beach defense is going to start turning some more points. I know she doesn't pick this one out, but you saw the Brandy Wilkerson block, and it only takes 1, maybe 2 of these for one of the best defenders in the world to start transitioning plays. That's Melissa Humana-Paredes.
Donlin back to serve again. Humana-Paredes right down the line, listening to her partner.
And more importantly, getting their pass in system. Watch for Mel to continue to try and trend towards that sideline to protect it. Force them to find a different area to serve.
How aggressive can Wilkerson be here? Deep corner, that's pretty good. She'll stay at the net. Her partner with the dig. Mel. Error. Yes, from Brooklyn. Palm Beach says we'll take it. 13-12.
But there's that turn from Melissa Humana-Paredes. Sits in the pocket. She says, easy ice cream. That one's for you, Casey Patterson.
5-1 run, Palm Beach. No timeouts for either side. Passed over. Brandy can't convert it. Oh, a mistake. Could be costly. 14-12. Set point, Brooklyn.
That might as well have been a flex off. 2 of the most fit athletic women up at the net. Donlin facing off against Wilkerson.
Denneberg for the set victory. Deep corner, winner, and that'll do it. How do you take the measure of a young team? Perhaps how they play when they're challenged.
Under pressure in big moments, big lights, and against a bigger opponent.
In this best of 3 AVP League match, the Brooklyn Blaze have taken the advantage here. 1 set to none in convincing fashion.
Absolutely, especially considering just the pressure of being a rookie. The first time on the sand for Lexi Denenberg, she saw the majority of the side-out pressure and handled that first contact nicely right up until the end. They've just got to make sure that when Melissa starts scooping balls, they stay steady and expect more extended rallies throughout this match.
What adjustments will be made by the Palm Beach Passion? Are we looking at another 3-setter? Or will we see the Blaze open with a 2-0 signature win? The walk-in's a big part of the AVP League style and an opportunity to show a little love for your sponsors. Melissa Humana Paredes, longtime Lululemon athlete, showing her sponsor and her style. And then the rookies come in a little understated, but ready for tennis, perhaps. As we welcome you back to the Delray Beach Tennis Center in Palm Beach, Florida. Florida man coming out.
I think that was the tattoo we saw on the arm of DeBerg, that Kylie DeBerg earlier.
A lot of new players in 2025. Here are some of the rookies we expect to make an impact.
Absolutely. You're seeing one in action right now. That's Lexi Denenberg out of UCLA. She was unstoppable in that first set. Passing got a little iffy right near the end of that first. However, she's going to steady it out here in this second. But you look at some of the others in the list. You got Molly Shaw, Kame Schulk in the mix, as well as James Shaw, Hagen Smith, Logan Weber, and Wyatt Harrison. Some new blood on the AVP.
We did talk to Lexi Denenberg about how exciting it is to join the league.
Absolutely. She's talked about the pressure.
Structured. I think it's just a really cool environment to be a part of, and like I've never been in it, so I'm so excited to be a part of it this year and to just compete freely and to just have fun out there. I mean, especially on the girls' side, it's like there's 8 phenomenal teams, so I'm just excited to be able to play such good competition and have fun out there.
New players coming in, making their mark, and they will try to do it as our tour schedule rolls on throughout the entire summer, culminating in Chicago at the end of August, the traditional weekend where Chicago has hosted these athletes this tour and their love of beach volleyball. So in 2 weeks' time, we're going to find ourselves in San Diego. We'll have a couple trips down to Texas coming up later in August. Meantime, we're going to New York and the Hamptons, aren't we?
I mean, I'm ready for that one, I'll tell you that much. I think I'm going to be out there for a week. And as you should be, come check us out in East Hampton, Los Angeles, in the Intuit Dome. How about that location? All those West Coasters, make sure to book your tickets to LA. I can tell you too, August, whoo, Dallas, Austin, you better get ready.
Depending upon how much Cameron enjoys East Hampton, we may not see her again. She may not be back. We might just release her into the Hamptons forever.
Just be sitting eating lobster.
Set number 2 on tap following a first set victory for the upstart American side. What adjustments would you like to see from the Canadians here if they're going to force a third set via victory here?
I'd love to see Mel take a step to her left sideline, force them to serve a different area on the court. Just give them a different look. It was 3 aces to 1 on the side of Brooklyn Blaze and also 2 blocks to 1. So the other element to this is for the Palm Beach Passion, Brandy Wilkerson finding a couple more blocks on her side.
All right, the Passion just back into the sand by design and played a couple of events down in Brazil. That's a good dig to start, but they cannot get a swing. They'll push Denneberg deep with a big run up. Here she comes, and it's all heat and success.
But that's just a waiting game. Brandy getting a touch like that. It's not often you see her block out. There's that move from Melissa Humana-Paredes, but the set goes just a bit awry.
Now you can go ahead and guess out there how tall Brandy Wilkerson is. Based on her block, based on her play, based on what you know about her, how tall do you think she is? She'll get this serve. She'll go right into the block and score it for the other side. That split block working. Denneberg picking it up. Denneberg with 1 inch on Brandy Wilkerson.
You go right back to the split blocking combination. Denneberg actually with some experience coming out of UCLA in the split block system. She only moved to full-time defense for 1 of her seasons. That would be her senior year, her 2nd block in this match.
See if they stick with the 5'10" Wilkerson here. No, they go the other way to her partner. A lot of movement all the way to the right side. It's another block. Denneberg, a lot of shuffling. She'll block long, and then this one is hit past her.
And this is another area I think the Palm Beach Passion can take advantage. With Denneberg up at the net, I think you might be able to find some opportunities to shoot around Julia Donlin. This is the first year for her playing full-time, or excuse me, split blocking, so playing defense half of the opportunities.
Yeah, played alongside Betsy Flint. Champions in the Manhattan Beach Open, name on the pier in 2023, lost in the final last year to Brasher and Nuss. That ball down the line. Really nice last couple of seasons for Julia Donlin. Then Scholes, along with the marriage and a whole bunch of success. Well, I was looking back at the last couple of years, and she's finished no worse than 7th, and that only happened once. She's on the podium every other time, 3rd or better,
wow,
except for Chicago last year.
That is impressive.
More advantage for the Blaze. This time it is on 2, and it is success for the pink-clad women from Palm Beach.
Still a little cagey to start that first contact. Short serving to Melissa on the left side yet again. You gotta go hats off to the new partnership of the Brooklyn Blaze for coming in with a solid strategy.
2 parts to the game. How you come in with a plan and then how you adjust. Adjustments made right now as our first tie of the match finds us here at 3-3 in the second.
That serve becomes that much more challenging with its loft at the end of the court. Really forces that defender to have to step back, or that passer, excuse me, to have to step back.
This time it's up the middle. And the cut shot falls short.
Denneberg trying to make the adjustment there, actually stepped back on the serve receive to be able to have that right on her platform, but unable to find the side out.
First lead of the match for Palm Beach here at 4-3. Remember, they got down right away, went down 5-0 to open this match. Easy one there for Mel, no touch from Brandy, so a clean transition. Oh, it's stuffed again. This time, it's Donlin.
Palm Beach continues to try and attack Denneberg. Right now, they're finding all the defensive opportunities. This one just closed out, though, by Donlin. The long stretch, even on the offense that's well beyond the length of the net, attacking from about 5 to 7 feet off there.
Donlin with 2 career victories, her first coming in Atlanta in 2022 with Jeannie Arango. As that ball will go just wide. Arango and Tony Rodriguez victorious in our first women's match of the evening. San Diego smash and comeback fashion over the Dallas Dream. Wilkerson. Oh, a little back flipper for the winner.
Man, that was a nasty serve, too. Brandy putting a little topspin as well as float. That was a hybrid serve if I've ever seen one.
Teams talking so much about service in this sets to 15 format. Win by 2, about how aggressive they have to be, how perfect they have to be. Speaking of perfect, there's a very nice dig. Not a great set. Can Palm Beach make them pay? Yes, they can. The cruel efficiency of the smiling assassin. Melissa Jimena-Paredes.
Palm Beach not siding out at their highest clip, especially that we've seen on the international circuit and at this point. However, they are grinding right now through transition, which is what's keeping them in this second set.
Expertly done. Beautiful shot from Lexi Denneberg. Talk about the impact that NCAA beach volleyball is having on the professional ranks.
I mean, you look around the AVP right and left, and the number of names that are now in the main draw or on the AVP league that have come through. UCLA, LSU, USC, you name it. Those programs continue to develop athletes that are immediately having impact. You could go as far as Therese Cannon, Meg Craft. The list just goes on, and it has truly proven itself, even at the international level, to really create athletes that can compete with the best in the world.
A lot of talk about Cannon and Craft. We'll see how far they've taken their game. As Wilkerson again goes a little bit short. And that ball is put away. So it's a tight second set, 7-7. Casey, you know that Palm Beach can definitely grind out a win.
Yeah. Yeah, these girls are proven and tested, right? Even in Huntington Beach. But the history of their partnership, even though it hasn't been super long, they've always done really well when they go 3. They know how to adapt and game plan very quickly, adjust to different set heights, and playing a team that they've never played before who's super physical. It's good that that's kind of their superpower. They're able to bounce out of it, get super confident, and find a good rhythm.
The 8-7 side switch from Palm Beach. They have definitely picked up the rhythm. They were down 8-2 in the first set, and they made a match of it, or a set of it. Here, they're in a much better situation for possible success. So the teams will take a break, and so will we. We'll be back to Palm Beach with the rest of the second set. Palm Beach trying to even us at a set apiece and give you maximum volleyball action. Side switch and a little bit of fun in stadium here at the Delray Beach Tennis Center in Palm Beach, Florida. 8-7, Palm Beach with the advantage in this set, but they are trailing 1-0 to the Brooklyn Blaze. There a look at the Canadian pair who have made some adjustments and come out firing here in the second. Let's check in back down in the stand with our Olympian, Casey Patterson.
Oh my gosh, don't cry. I'm gonna cry. Oh.
We have a kiss cam?
Yeah, Phil walked away, totally stuck you with this interview. I'm here with Jen Dahlhauser, the better half of the Beijing Beast. Come on, too easy. All right, last season, how do we feel? I'm emotional. I'm guessing you are a little bit.
Just a little. Just a little. No, it's, you know, pros and cons to both. Yeah. He's home more, but then he's home more. So, you know, we'll see how it goes. If he can keep in retirement, we'll see. Yeah.
How do you feel with playing with Trevor? I'm curious what you think.
I hope Trevor can maybe light some fire under his butt.
Yes.
Maybe that would be nice. More than just like a fist pump, you know, like something.
We want like the 2003 Phil. Yeah.
Sunday Phil, like Sunday Phil, like this. No, he's like watching paint dry, so you know, maybe Trevor can loosen him up a little bit.
Good. Okay. There you go, Phil. We got you motivation. Sunday Phil. Back to the ladies. What he's going to show us tonight. I can't wait.
No, he's ready. He's ready. Friday, he's ready.
Somebody call Netflix and let them know that Jen Dahlhauser is ready for the roast of Phil Dahlhauser.
By the way, that was amazing. I got a chance to catch up with her earlier in the hotel. She's just so excited that she gets a chance to hang out, watch her husband play, and we're thrilled that we get a chance to watch him play.
Yeah, one more season for the legend, the Olympic gold medalist, four-time Olympian who has been a trailblazer in the sport. He's playing for Palm Beach once again this year, playing alongside Trevor Crabb. They will face off against Sean Cook and Brian Miller, the Brooklyn Blaze, in our second match here tonight. Thanks for being with us on CBS Sports Network. Kevin Barnett alongside Cameron Irwin and Olympian Casey Patterson on the sideline as we enjoy second set action with the young American side of Julia Donlin and Lexi Denneberg, who have designs on 2028 in an Olympic appearance in American colors. They are thus far the aggressors by and large. And that is Lexi Denneberg there with the white glasses. The visor is on Julia Donlin. Both will block, both will play defense. Here it will be Denneberg on D. And she sprawls up to get that one. And the put away. There's the athleticism, Cameron Irwin.
Air Denneberg. Whether it's the hit, the dig, she is fully airborne. Stretched out her left hand. That's her offhand. What a control. She goes, all right, time to use the right.
Off the dig, time to feast at the net with nobody up, and it's 10-9. So they are 5 points away from closing this out 2-0.
This would be a huge, huge win.
Yeah, this would be a steal, wouldn't it? On two, this time with the right hand just out of reach. Palm Beach backs to the wall. A race to 5, win by 2.
The first opportunity is to really get that option going.
Blaze led the entire first set. We've had 8 ties, 2 lead changes here in the second. Big inside approach, and that'll go middle for the winner.
How do you handle the pressure of side out at this point for the Brooklyn Blaze? Again, a new partnership. They feel like they're just starting to evolve and gaining that confidence, but a win against this team would be a massive boost into the league.
Jump serve coming into the net. That jump serve from Julia Donlin is what started all the pressure in the first set. And a 5-0 lead that eventually had them winning 15-12. Loved watching the game with Julia Donlin last year. She's never met a swing she didn't take. Even 8 feet off the net, take a cut. Tough short serve. Denneberg will go short. Opportunity here, good dig on 2, no. Brandy pulling, can't handle it. Scramble play 1 Brooklyn.
Kev, you missed the french fries. And what about a set from Julia Donlin from her knee? Not easily done, but perfect placement to give her partner opportunity to take a cut with double down defense.
I really like the pop there. She drove it a little bit deep with not a lot of top spin off the heel of her hand. Denneberg in that angle, she'll stay there, but it goes through the partner block of Julia Donlin.
Wilkerson pulling out the pause there on the set, a different tempo, changing up the rhythm for the block of Donlin.
Canadian silver medalists Melissa Jimena-Paredes, Brandy Wilkerson, both in their second Olympics, took home the victory, as well as the fame. They get recognized a lot more in the States and in Canada. They're still paying for some meals. People have to switch that up. There's a big block. That's what we expect to see from Brandy Wilkerson.
Brandy said they even have little ones coming up, shedding a few tears now after that silver medal. Well, Brooklyn Blaze might be shedding a few tears after that block. She's just heating up.
Mel, another deep serve. Left side, line. Mel can't quite get there. Denneberg with another easy looking side out, 13 up.
It may look easy, but it's not when you got that Wilkerson block in front.
I think a test here. How aggressive will Donlin be? Success early, couple of misses, including her last. Into the angle, yes, but it's a miss.
That hurts. You can see it from the frustration from Donlin. She's missed her last two.
14-13, set, point, Palm Beach. Wilkerson, serve and block. Looking like a jump float. She's tried to add some diversity here. Gives herself a little time to get there. It's just enough. All by herself, Brandy Wilkerson closes set number 2.
We wanted more Wilkerson blocks, and she gave it to us here in the second set. 4 blocks now for Wilkerson.
Maximum volleyball entertainment headed your way. Early on, it was the Americans. Denneberg and Donlin with a ton of aggression, keeping the Canadians off balance, but they have found their equilibrium. Brandy Wilkerson, the fire and the plays. We're going 3 for the first victory in the AVP League women's side between the Passion and the Blaze next.
So I think coming off of the Paris Olympics, there's definite momentum in beach volleyball and in our sport, especially with the LA 2028 Olympics next. That's definitely on the radar for Brandy and I as well. It feels kind of full circle because that's where the start of my professional career happened, was in LA, and we've spent so much time there. So our sights are set on continuing on to play LA 2028 and continue to see where this league develops. We want to kind of be pioneers in the sport to get it to where it really deserves to grow, and hopefully that happens in our career lifetime. But yeah, I think beach volleyball is a sport you don't want to sleep on because it's coming.
Mel, from a volleyball family, uniquely leaving her own mark on the game.
Absolutely, and it's so fun when we got a chance to catch up with her. She spoke significantly at length about her second Olympics in Paris and picking up the silver medal, and she said, sometimes at this point when I reflect, I kind of forget, like, oh wait, we did that. She said her life hasn't changed that much, and that's exactly how she prefers it to be.
Yeah, it was great. I love the way she put it. She said your core is your core, and that's true in life as well as with your sponsors. So not a lot changed for her. She did say that the renegotiation was a little bit easier with the medal in the bag. So we'll see if things get any easier for them, as they've been very difficult throughout this first match of 2025 league play. Kevin Marnette, Cameron Irwin, along with Casey Patterson on the sand as we go to 3 sets here, Palm Beach and Brooklyn. A dominant first set from Brooklyn, followed up by Palm Beach grinding it out in the second to force this third. First time these pairs have ever met. But there have been a lot of individual meetings and a lot of 3-set matches between the individual people.
One of the things that's shown throughout this match is the fact that Palm Beach has had to figure out a bit of a strategy against this team, the unknown. So even though there's those individual performances, you don't know exactly how teams are going to come together and attack you.
Well, down in the seam is how they were attacked there, and that's a mishandled ball, lost opportunity. Yes, Donlin definitely wants that one back.
Four blocks for Brandy Wilkerson. Impressive, especially considering 3 of those came just a set ago. 2 control blocks to add. An impact of a blocker is not just about stuff blocks, it's also how many times you can get your hand a touch on the attack.
Yeah, and channeling too. Even if you don't get an opportunity to touch it, you need to get it to your partner right there. It is touched, but it's down. Another kill for the Blaze.
Lexi Dinenberg is having quite the welcome to the AVP League already through sets 1 and 2. 11 kills, 9 digs, 2 blocks. She's leading all 4 of these athletes in digs and kills and only doing defense half the time.
Yeah, we were chatting earlier about the impact of collegiate beach volleyball. Is there's another play and a miss in transition, unfortunately, for the Blaze. The impact of collegiate beach volleyball, they've been playing in these big matches, especially you play for a UCLA, a USC, an LSU. You've played in these huge, impactful, stress-filled situations. This is native territory for you.
It is. How do you handle the pressure, the moments that go beyond just the celebrations, the kills, and even send out that pass? Can you steady yourself?
Maybe find a way to shake it off. 3-3. See if Mel goes right back. That was to the line side or right side of Lexi Dinenberg. Where will she go this time? A little bit to the left. Dinenberg is blocked. Left hand lineup from Wilkerson.
That's like holding up a piece of meat on the edge of a lake or ocean in Florida. For Brandy Wilkerson, she is just gonna pounce on a ball that is that tight.
Highest flyer on tour, Wilkerson. Looking to get vertical again. Drops, picks it up. Look at Mel doing work behind, shifting and sliding for the win.
Melissa Humana-Paredes with all the energy defensively. Just scattering herself across the backcourt.
4-0 run on the strength of this read here.
Looked like a conditioning drill.
Coach throwing a ball off a box either way, having to run it down, absolutely. 5-3, passion. Big jump into the angle. That was touched. They'll have to come over. Wilkerson, another big jump into the angle, but the soft touch of Denneberg is too good.
To watch the technique of Brandy Wilkerson block and the amount of hang time she can generate. She always drops those hands down to the sand. It's a full block jump every single time. And she does such a nice job really utilizing her hands individually to whether go up and get a shot block or drop into some seams.
That ball is wide, channeled out of bounds. So that'll keep Donlin, the 2022 AVP Rookie of the Year, at the service line. Spent a lot of time alongside Betsy Flint. She said, I took the feeling of being unstoppable and making other teams feel the pressure from veteran Betsy Flint. Of course, one of the top players on tour for a long time. Coaching at LMU as that ball goes middle.
It's been a bit of a role switch as well for Julia Donlin because she had played alongside Betsy Flint. She said the veteranness is now on her side, and so now she's the one kind of managing the travel, figuring out where they're going, and really leading the way for Lexi Denneberg. She said it is still somewhat more of a sister relationship. We feel like we're on equal playing fields, but there are a few new responsibilities on the side of Donlin.
Dig by Wilkerson in that pulling position, but it's a miss. All right, let's go down to Casey Patterson. We think he's found Phil Dalhauser.
Phil, how's it feel? Last season, special moment for all of us, but especially for you. How are you feeling right now with the beginning of your official last season?
Honestly, it feels pretty good. This is my 23rd season. Enough is enough. Let some young guy come take my spot, and I'm a proponent of or a fan of USA Beach Volleyball, and me being in the league actually hurts USA Beach Volleyball because maybe it gives a young guy a chance to come in, make a couple bucks, and fund his international travel.
I wish you would have felt like that when I was still playing, so that you're always in the way. See, we're all like happy and sad. We're like sad that we can't watch anymore, but wishing that maybe you wouldn't have been around when we would have been playing, because we would have had a lot more finals and championships. But I love that mentality, right? Because the next group of guys, that's a huge thing, and that was something that you went through. So how are your family dealing with it? Or are they going to celebrate? What do we got planned?
I think they're happy that I'll be home more. I mean, I've been home for a while now. I haven't been playing internationally for a while, but I don't know. So I'm sure for you it was kind of weird because they're so used to you being gone a lot, and there's like a whole transition, and so it's a little strange, I guess.
Yeah. The flow is really hard to find because you feel like you don't kind of belong, and then when you do the wrong thing. And so, last thing, predictions on the match. Also, the new format on the league, like the whole individual. I feel like you and Trevor could side out at the highest clip at all the teams. Is that kind of the focus going into this because you can't train all the time? You don't have all the, you're not close to each other.
Yeah, I like the new format because I felt like Andy and Miles got a little the bad end of the, I guess, worse end of the stick because they didn't lose a match, right? And so in any other tournament, they'd win, right? Yeah. So now they have a chance to go win the league for their team, and then their teammates can go do their thing, right?
Yeah, we all like it better. Back to the girls, late in the third here. It's crunch time, as Mark would say. Let's tune back in.
We'll spend a lot more time with Phil Dalhauser in his final season, a legend in the game, as we focus in here on some current All-Stars. 8-7 off a little controversy at the end of the side switch point there, and eventually going to Brooklyn, ruled in. And now off the service error, the ball never lies, and it's 8-8. So a race to 15. Here it'll be 7, win by 2 from our 8-8 spot. Wilkerson, she can jump serve, she can jump float. Put a lot of effort into being different from the service line this year. Spin. Donlin rips it.
I love that you're really starting to see some of the personalities come out in these 4 athletes. Julia Donlin with that last swing, she is going to be ever the aggressor. She's somebody that loves to play with her back against the wall in some big time moments. She loves to come and play a little bit from behind as well. And right now she's getting an opportunity to really play into her personality in this 3rd set.
Working to the line against Wilkerson, who will approach and hit that wrist away, kind of signature shot for so many lefties. There's always more angle.
There is for Brandy. Thinking Brandy Wilkerson a block here.
Pretty good lineup for it.
Oh, she got a touch.
Chipped over the top with a touch by Palm Beach. It'll be point Brooklyn, 10-9.
But that is a really high level, high skill play from Lexi Denenberg. Switching from the collegiate game to the professional game, that's one area of focus, is knowing when to attack and when to shoot. Maybe slightly out of system on that last one. She goes high into the corner.
Well, attacking from the service line now. And that ball kind of gets stuffed in the pocket by Wilkerson. A little shake of the hand from the partner.
I mean, her dad played in the NBA. That's a little slam dunk for you.
Well done.
Love the Palm Beach fans supporting their team, too. They're going to need them for these last 5.
Brandy still at the line. Mel was right there. Cannot handle the heat. So Denenberg out of Merritt Island, Florida. That's about halfway to Jacksonville on the Atlantic coast side from where we are currently. Good contingent on hand to cheer on the 23-year-old. That ball a little tight, turned. Saw Miles Partain pull one like that too. A lot of direction.
Well, that's a tough ball to have to manage from a platform perspective. Didn't have a ton of topspin, which actually gives the ball direction. It almost kind of floated at the defender. Hard to get your platform on.
11-11. If you know, you know. Mel in that angle again. This time she got more of it. She'll knuckle it deep. Veteran move.
Lexi made that play with her left hand. Now she can't play it with her dominant hand. Trying to find that over to the right side. But again, Melissa Humana-Paredes, I love that. When in doubt, really force your opponents to have to play the depth of the court.
High line the call. And high line the swing. Boy, that was an indoor attack right there at the pin. The one-time North Carolina indoor player who'd go on to UH Beach and USC Beach during her collegiate time. 2-time all Pac-12 performer with swings like that.
I mean, that is a fearless attack against a demonstrative block.
Right down the middle. Opportunity here for Brooklyn. Can they convert? Yes, they can. What a chop.
Changed up the service pressure, went the direction of Wilkerson on that one. Able to come away with some defensive performance as well.
Donlin back to setting the tone from the service line as she did it early in set 1. Trying to push towards the victory down the line. Mel. Right middle, and it will be a match ball on the strength of Julia Donlin.
Denenberg throwing up the sweet stuff off that platform set. Absolute butter for a partner.
Match point number 1. Donlin's been hitting it. She'll work on Wilkerson. Call, you have line, and it is taken. But they'll need one more. Second match point.
The previous point, they went after Melissa Humana-Paredes. However, Wilkerson comes up with the answer on the previous side out.
Chip to the corner. Donlin versus Wilkerson. Got it! How about that? A 4-1 run to finish for Brooklyn. Julia Donlin putting on a show from the service line.
And the first rookie on the sand in 2025 for the AVP League picks up a massive win with Lexi Denenberg and Julia Donlin and their new partnership.
Mel supports the fans. A wave of appreciation, but frustration behind that smile there as Palm Beach loses in 3 to the Brooklyn Blaze. We'll be back. Get ready for the rest of our night. The men are coming up next. We'll talk to the winners.